The first night they slept in the house, Emma couldn't close her eyes. The ceiling fan creaked slowly above her head. Moonlight slipped through the white curtains and painted silver lines across the floor. Beside her, her husband Caleb was already asleep. Emma lay still, staring at the shadows on the wall. This house was supposed to feel like home. It was the small blue house on Willow Street, the one she had grown up in. Her childhood home. When her parents passed away, Emma had always dreamed of buying it back someday. And now she finally had. Caleb had worked overtime for 2 years. They used their savings. They took out a loan. They believed this house would be their fresh start. But something felt wrong. 2 weeks later, Caleb was in the attic organizing old boxes when he found something strange. Behind a stack of dusty photo albums was a small locked metal case. He carried it downstairs. "What's this?" he asked. Emma froze when she saw it. I've never seen that before," she whispered. Caleb opened it. Inside were 3 tiny black cameras. Hidden cameras. Emma's chest tightened. "Why would there be cameras in my childhood house?" Caleb asked. They searched the house. They found more. One behind a vent in the hallway. One inside the smoke detector in the living room. One above the stairs. They counted 9 cameras. Someone had been watching. For years. Emma started shaking. "My dad," she whispered. "He was always so strict." They took the cameras to a local tech shop. The owner plugged one into a computer. Footage appeared on the screen. Emma covered her mouth. It showed her as a little girl, walking down the hallway in pajamas, doing homework at the kitchen table, crying on the stairs. Her childhood recorded. Caleb felt sick. But then they found another folder. A newer folder. With dates from just 6 months ago. Caleb's stomach dropped. "That was before we bought the house," he whispered. They clicked the file. The footage showed Emma's older brother, Ryan, secretly entering the house late at night. He was going through drawers, opening cabinets, standing silently in Emma's old bedroom, and then crying. Emma stared at the screen. "Ryan," she whispered. Emma hadn't spoken to Ryan in years. He disappeared after their father died. Their family always said he left town. But watching him cry in that empty bedroom broke something inside her. They kept watching. One clip showed Ryan sitting on the bed, holding a picture of their mom. He whispered, "I'm sorry." Caleb looked at Emma. Why would he be sneaking in? Emma's voice shook. Our dad blamed Ryan for everything. He treated him like a problem, like a disappointment. Another video showed their father yelling at Ryan, recorded years earlier. "You ruined this family," their father shouted. Ryan stood there, silent, tears streaming down his face. Emma felt sick. She remembered their father as strict, but never imagined this. Their father had installed cameras to watch his own son, to control him, to punish him, to break him. They turned the footage into the police. But there was no crime to charge. Their father was gone. Ryan was missing. Emma couldn't sleep. She couldn't stop thinking about her brother crying alone in that empty house. She started posting online, looking for him. Weeks later, she got a message. It was from Ryan. "I didn't know the cameras were still there," he wrote. "I just wanted to say goodbye to Mom's room." Emma cried for hours. They met at a small diner. Ryan looked older, tired, broken. "I thought Dad destroyed all the recordings," Ryan said quietly. "I didn't know he kept watching." Emma reached for his hand. "I'm sorry I didn't protect you," Ryan whispered. "I didn't think anyone would ever care." They removed every camera. They repainted the walls. They burned the recordings. The house finally became quiet. But some nights, Emma still wakes up, staring at the ceiling, remembering how long someone had been watching, and how secrets can live inside walls, waiting for someone brave enough to find them. If you want, I can now give you a cinematic image prompt. YouTube title, tags, description. Viral thumbnail lines. After the cameras were removed, the house felt different. Quieter. Too quiet. The ticking of the old hallway clock sounded louder than ever. The walls seemed to hold their breath. Emma tried to tell herself everything was fine now. But at night, she still felt watched. Ryan started visiting once a week. He never stayed long. He always stood near the door, like someone ready to run. Caleb tried to talk to him, but Ryan rarely looked him in the eye. One evening, while Emma was in the kitchen, Caleb overheard Ryan whispering in the hallway. "He used to lock me in the attic." Caleb froze. "What?" he asked quietly. Ryan swallowed. "He said I was a bad influence. He said cameras were to make sure I behaved." Caleb felt sick. Emma confronted her childhood memories. She remembered her father being strict, but she didn't remember him being cruel. Ryan remembered everything. "He used to make me watch myself on the recordings," Ryan whispered. "He'd say, 'Look how weak you are.'" Emma collapsed onto the couch, shaking. She had lived in the same house, while her brother was being broken inside it. Weeks later, Caleb was fixing a loose floorboard in the attic. He lifted it and found another metal box. Inside were more drives, more footage. Older, much older. Caleb brought it down slowly. They plugged it in. The screen filled with video from years ago. Their mother was crying. Their father stood over her, yelling. "Don't tell anyone," he said. Emma covered her mouth. They had never known. Their father hadn't just hurt Ryan. He had hurt their mother too. Emma realized the house wasn't just full of memories. It was full of hidden pain. And that pain was still alive. One night, Emma found Ryan sitting in his old room in the dark. He was shaking. "He used to come in here at night," Ryan whispered. "He said if I ever told, nobody would believe me." Emma knelt in front of him. "I believe you," she said through tears. And for the first time, Ryan cried in her arms. Not in secret. Not on camera. But safely. After that night, Emma could no longer keep the secret. The house had carried too much pain for too long. She contacted a local victims support center. They helped her and Ryan file official statements. Even though their father was gone, his actions still mattered. The truth still mattered. The police couldn't arrest a dead man, but they could close the files, document the abuse, and protect others from repeating his pattern. Word spread quietly around Hollow Creek. People were shocked. The man who had once led church meetings, who shook everyone's hand on Sunday mornings, had been hiding darkness behind closed doors. Some neighbors cried. Some apologized. Some said, "We should have seen it." Ryan finally began therapy. He learned to sleep without lights on. He learned to speak without whispering. He learned that his voice mattered. Emma sat beside him at every appointment. Caleb drove him home. Slowly, Ryan started smiling again. One afternoon months later, Emma stood in the backyard with Caleb. The apple tree her mother once planted was blooming. White petals drifted in the warm breeze. Caleb took her hand. "We can sell this place," he said gently. "Or we can make it something new." Emma looked at the house. The walls that once held secrets. "I don't want to run from it," she said. "I want to change it." They opened the front room as a small counseling and youth support space. A quiet place where kids could talk. Where fear didn't live. Where no one was watched. They named it the Willow Room. Ryan helped paint the walls. Light blue. Soft yellow. Peaceful colors. On opening day, the room filled with people. Some came crying. Some came hopeful. Some came just to say thank you. Emma watched Ryan laugh for the first time in years. And she knew. The house was finally healing. Late that night, Emma stood in her old bedroom. No cameras. No secrets. Just quiet. She whispered softly. "We're free now." And for the first time in her life, the house finally felt like home. Every like, subscribe, and share supports our channel and helps us tell more stories like this.